Next, let's add a spring pad. Go to the level prototyping folder, open the interactable folder, and over here, right-click and create a new blueprint, and select the actor. Let's call it BP underscore spring pad. And then open that up. And in here, let's create a static mesh. Save and compile. And now let's go back and then back to the level prototyping folder. Press the import button. And here, go back to the assets folder and select level and mechanics. And over here, select the spring pad. And then click import. Again, move the materials to the materials folder and the mesh to the meshes folder. And then go back to the blueprint, and over here, we'll select spring pad. Now click save and compile. And now we go back to the level and let's put it somewhere over here. Let's drop it into here and press play. And now it's in the level and it has collision, but doesn't help us bounce. So we'll go back to the player blueprint. And in here, we go to the onLanded event once again. And below the crate, we will once again get the hit actor and this time cast to spring pad. Connect that to the cast fail of the crate. And then if it's true, we once again copy and paste the launch character function. And this time we set it to 1250. And let's adjust the size of the comment. And comment this as well to spring pad. Spring pad detection. Move that a little bit. And now save, compile, and then press play. And now when we go and jump on the spring pad, we get bounced up. Yeah, that's much nicer. But nothing's really happening with the spring pad itself because it's not really animating or changing its shape when we jump on it. So let's do that next. Let's go back to the spring pad. And over here in the event graph, let's create a new custom event and call it bounce. And we'll create a new timeline and we'll call it timeline underscore bounce. And instead of having it connected to play, we'll have it connected to play from start. The reason for that is if we do play, that works when we only launch the timeline once. But if you want to do it twice, the play will only play it once from the beginning. So after the timeline ends, to reset the play button, you have to actually do reverse. And that's why when you select the play from start, it will always start from the beginning. So we'll go inside of the timeline and we'll set the length to 0.25. Once again, we'll create a float, call it alpha. And this time, we'll create 3 keys. 1, 2, 3. Let's select them all, press F. Now we're nicely zoomed in. And let's put the first one at 0, 0. Let's put the second one that's in the middle to 0.125, which is in the middle. And we set the value to 1. And the last one, we'll put the time to 0.25 and the value to 0. And now press F again to center them all. And basically it will go from 0 and then in the middle go to 1 and then back to 0. So we have a nice spring effect. Back in the event graph, we will get the static mesh and then set relative scale and connect that to update. And once again, we'll create a lerp vector and we connect the alpha to it and the return value. And this time we'll set the values to 1, 1, 1 for A, and for B, 1, 1, and 0.5. This way, only the Z value will be pushed down. Now we save, compile, and back in the player, before we launch a character, we will call the bounce function. Connect that all, and resize the comments. And now when we save, compile, and press play, and we go to the spring pad, it has this nice spring animation. And that's it for this lesson.